Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Audrey. I post 2 new videos every week, and if you hit that red subscribe button, you'll be notified when each video goes live. Now in today's video, I want to discuss saves versus splurges. So I'm going to share the places that I like to save a little money in my wardrobe, and then the areas that I don't mind spending a little more if it means I can get a high quality, well-made piece that I can wear for years to come. So before we hop into my personal saves and splurges, I want to discuss a couple things. The first is that a save and a splurge is going to look different for every person and every person's budget. What's most important is that you always stick to your personal financial restraints, don't go broke for fashion, and then always try to find the highest quality item that you can personally afford. So whether it's a save or a splurge, definitely always strive for natural fibers when possible because they have a tendency to last longer and they're easy to care for. And then also care for those pieces properly. So stay on top of maintenance, definitely launder things when they need to be laundered, have them dry cleaned if it's the only way to care for the item, have them tailored, have them mended, and have your shoes resoled. I'm constantly learning how to do this myself, and I have a video coming up on all of the ways that I like to care for my wardrobe and some of the places that I've messed up in the past. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Now let's hop into my personal saves and splurges, and let's kick things off with the splurge category. So the first item in this category has to be shoes. I have learned the hard way over the years that poor quality footwear is just not worth it for me. For me, it's much more value to spend a little bit more money up front and then buy a pair of well-made classic shoes that I can wear for years. I have a couple in my wardrobe that I definitely spent the high end of my budget, but they were so worth it because I wear them constantly, they're incredibly comfortable, and I can constantly repair and mend them and have them for even longer. So it's an absolute must for me. It's definitely worth it. I end up spending less money longer term because I'm not having to repurchase ballet flats every couple months, for example, because the pair that I have lasts for years and years and years. So I definitely recommend re-examining your footwear if it's an area that you tend to skimp, because I find that it's an area that's going to change your life once you decide to spend a little bit more. Plus, high quality footwear really has the ability to elevate the rest of your outfit. I've touched on this in past videos. I'll link some of those here for you. But it just elevates everything that you're wearing. So you can be wearing very inexpensive pieces, but as long as they fit you well and your footwear is amazing, the rest of you is going to look like $1,000,000. The next area I like to splurge a little bit is my handbags. So I don't buy exorbitantly expensive handbags, mostly because I can't afford it. But I definitely think that certain designer and high quality luxe handbags are definitely worth it. I think that if you're smart about it and you really pick a piece that has a classic silhouette and then it's in a beautiful classic color that will complement your wardrobe, you can and should wear that for many, many years, if not the rest of your life. So it's definitely an area that I recommend spending a little bit more. I think you're really going to see it in the overall construction and then again the longevity of the piece. And for me personally, it's much better to have a smaller selection of handbags that are beautifully made than having a bunch of handbags that are poorly made. I find that I'm able to wear the few that I have a lot more. They don't wear out as quickly, and like I said, I'm able to care for them so that they last a lot longer. Now, I've got a video all about how to care for your handbags coming up because I've definitely had some trial and errors in this, and I have definitely made some mistakes. So be on the lookout for that because I want to help some of you out there not make the same mistakes. Most of you probably already know these, but in case you don't, I think that it's very valuable so that when you do spend a little bit more money, you have that piece that will last you for years and you don't blow it in the first year or two of owning it. Next up is forever jewelry. So you know I love costume jewelry. I think every woman should have a couple pieces. I'm actually working on a video all about a capsule jewelry collection and the pieces that I think every woman should consider having in her wardrobe, so be on the lookout for that. But I think that it's also worthwhile to spend a little bit more money on a few high quality fine jewelry pieces that you can wear for the rest of your life. So these are going to be simple studs, pearls, a delicate bangle, a beautiful delicate necklace, things that are made from very fine high quality materials like solid gold, sterling silver, and diamonds. I think are really worth the extra elevated price. I think that they're pieces that you can wear forever. They go with everything in your wardrobe. They complement pretty much everyone's wardrobe, I've found in my experience, and I think that it's definitely worth investing a little bit more money so you're not constantly repurchasing things because they tarnish. And then also it's something that you know you can have forever, and then in some instances even pass on to future generations. So I think that it's definitely an area to consider, if you haven't already, to definitely consider spending a little bit more money on fine jewelry and creating a very small selection for yourself that you can wear for the rest of your life. Undergarments have the power to make or break your entire outfit, so it's definitely an area that I recommend spending a little bit more money. In college, I worked at a very large department store as a bra fit specialist, and I learned very early on the importance of a great fitting bra. So I definitely encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to go get fitted. Have someone professional help you find the appropriate size and silhouette for you and your body. And I think that it's really going to change the way you feel about your body, and then also the clothes that you put on it. I find that by choosing something that is in a neutral color for your personal skin tone, and then wearing that so that it has no seams and it really helps smooth everything out and lift everything the way it needs to be, will make a world of difference in how you feel in your clothes. So I definitely recommend spending a little bit more in not only time but also money to find your perfect bra. Next up is natural fiber sweaters. So whether that's cotton, wool, cashmere, silk, or a blend, I definitely recommend spending a little bit more for those natural fibers in beautiful textures. I've slowly been building my very fine, high quality sweater collection over the years, and it's something that I don't know how I did without before I had it. So I used to invest my money, well, invest is a broad statement, because I used to spend my money on poorly made, poorly constructed, synthetic based sweaters, and I would find myself not only itchy but also uncomfortable and sweaty in the differing temperatures throughout the year. And since choosing to invest in higher quality materials, it's been a total game changer. So I definitely recommend taking the time to educate yourself on what makes a great sweater, the different fabrics that are appropriate for different times of the year, and then ultimately picking a color in a silhouette that will suit you, your personal style, and your wardrobe beautifully, and you'll have something that you can wear for years. In fact, I have a cashmere sweater that my grandmother had when she lived in Colombia. She came to the United States, she had it all through her life here, and then it was gifted to me, and I still have it. It's still in perfect condition. All of the buttons are intact. It has no holes. So it goes to show that if you do spend a little bit more, you can truly have a piece that you have for the rest of your life. And the last item that I like to splurge on for my wardrobe are classic tailored blazers and outerwear. You know I love blazers. I wear them constantly. I'm wearing one now, and I have a pretty decent sized collection that I've gathered over the years, and I can tell you from firsthand experience there is a very big difference between a poorly made blazer and a well-made blazer. And typically a well-made blazer in a natural fiber costs a little bit more, and it's definitely worth it in my opinion. So I have a couple Zara blazers that are polyester. You can definitely tell they are perfectly fine for what they are. They're more trend-driven pieces, but I find that for my tweed blazers, my linen blazers, my herringbone blazers, my wool, my camel, I've really benefited from spending a little bit more because the fit is perfect, they hang beautifully on the body, and they last forever. So with all of that said, it's also important to understand construction and what constitutes a high quality piece, because once you do, you can really start to get some good deals. So as you'll see in that video, I have a couple blazers that should have been Splurges, but really they were at a steal price point because I knew what to look for. So I'm going to be doing an entire series all about how you can save on really beautifully made pieces, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, definitely consider investing slightly more in your tailored toppers if you haven't done so already, because I think it'll make a world of difference in not only how long you have the piece, but also how well it complements the rest of your wardrobe. Now let's go over the areas I like to save a little money in my wardrobe. And first up has to be trendy pieces that I won't want to wear beyond 1 year. So for me personally, I think you can approach trends in two ways. The first way is haphazardly and impulsively, and you can just adopt every trend that comes your way. And then the second way is slightly more strategically, where you actually think about a trend and incorporate something into your wardrobe that will complement your lifestyle and your personal style, so that you can ideally wear it for longer than a couple months. So as you can probably guess, I tend to go for the second tactic, and I tend to be really strategic about my trend purchases. So even though it is a trend-driven piece, like a broader sleeve wrap top, for example, I have one that I got from Zara, I think last year or the year before. It is a trendy piece, but it's still a silhouette that I can wear this year and not feel totally dated. Also, when purchasing that item, I bought the item that I found that was cotton instead of the options that were made from polyester. So I was still opting for natural fibers and then also trying to find something that was well made. So even though it is a trendy piece and it was definitely a save, it's not something that wore out after one wash, and it was definitely something that I've kept in my wardrobe. I have it in my capsule this spring, and it's something that I think I can wear even into next year as well. The next area I like to save a little money in my wardrobe is on costume jewelry. Now, before we get into all of the details about that, I think it's important to distinguish between costume and statement jewelry. Costume jewelry is going to be anything that's fake and anything that can tarnish easily and that you won't necessarily want to wear for a very long time. And then statement jewelry is anything that's going to make a statement and that is going to complement your personal identity and your personal style. So for me personally, that tends to be a great pair of earrings. I have a pair by Julie Voss that I love. They are not costume jewelry because they are semi-precious stones and gold, and I found that that was a very worthy investment for me because it's something that I wear constantly. Now, on the contrary, costume jewelry, anything that's fake and not the best construction, is definitely an area that I like to save my money. So in this area, I have a pair of bauble bar earrings that I wear constantly, but they're definitely faux. They don't have the best construction, but they're also not the worst construction. And I find that they're tarnishing slightly, but nothing terrible because they were very inexpensive. Though along those same lines, my gold hoops from Target are also considered costume jewelry for me, because they are fake. They haven't tarnished yet, but I'm sure they will eventually because it's just the nature of jewelry like that. Also, my gold bangle that I wear a lot from J. Crew, I have had that for a very long time, and for costume jewelry, I find that it's lasted pretty well, but because I wore it a lot last year and then this year in the humidity and the heat, it's tarnished. So it's definitely something that I've had to retire from my wardrobe, but it's okay because it's costume jewelry. It's something that is not really that big of a deal if you don't spend a lot of money and then have to retire relatively quickly. So it's a fun way to change up your look, and it's definitely something I encourage you to incorporate into your wardrobe, but definitely don't go broke for. And the last area I like to save a little money in my wardrobe are white t-shirts. So I know different people out there, certain sources will tell you that it's worthy to spend more on a white t-shirt. I disagree. I wear them so frequently in the spring and summer, and it's so hot down here, and I sweat so much through them that they don't last as long as I'd like. So I try to spend relatively little on my white t-shirts. I find that anything over about $25 is just too much for me. I've had white t-shirts from Hanes that are great. Everlane makes some beautiful white t-shirts for a very reasonable price. So I think you can definitely find something that's cotton, so it's breathable, and also has a really classic, flattering silhouette without having to break the bank. So for me personally, it's definitely an area that I like to save a couple pennies when possible. And there you have it. Those are some of the places I like to save and splurge in my wardrobe. I hope you liked this and you found it helpful. And I'd love to know in the comments down below what your saves and splurges are. Let's start a little conversation down there. And like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.